Good
Good.
morning.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Don. Thank you for being a guest on our show today.
Thanks for having
We are so excited. We have the legendary singer-songwriter Don Mclean. We'll be discussing his new album, American Boys. Fans and critics are excited about May 17th, the big release day of your new album, American Boys. You cover a wide variety of topics, some powerful, some inspirational. How great is it to be working with your guitarist, Vip Vipperman?
Well, he started this whole thing off because I wasn't doing anything. This was a long time ago, and he had a couple of songs that he wanted to fool around with. He wasn't doing anything. It was the pandemic, I said, well, let's, fool around with some of these and see if we can. Well, we did, and then I wrote a whole lot of other songs to go. I just started writing again, started me going like pump priming, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And get this, and then another one of my great guitarists. I have the best guitar players with me always. Is Mike Beavers, and he produced this album, and he started knocking some tracks together, and then we get together and came out here to California, and I put my guitar on everything and my vocals, and it was enjoyable. We were sitting in my condo that I have, and cut this record. It's nothing like it used to be, of course. We had to go in the studio and spend hours and hours, which was also very exciting. Being around creative people, but I actually did a vocal on American Boys, which was kind of all right, and then I kept singing it, and my girlfriend said, I really like American Boys, the way you're singing it. And so I realized I have put a lot more power behind it. And I was in Nashville, so Mike comes over with a little briefcase, sets up a microphone, and I did a new vocal, just like that.
Oh, wow.
That's the one that's on there. Yeah. So that's the state of recording these days. You can fit anything. Most of what you hear on the radio is computer manufactured. They're talking about artificial intelligence, but those rap records, most of those, there's hardly any players on those records at all.
Oh.
Those are samples and rap stuff that they make these incredible rhythm tracks and everything, and they don't have too many sessions, I think, with piano players, bass players, and stuff. The bass you hear is a computer, the piano is a computer, the drums are a computer. So, at least we were still finding guys to play. We had a great bass player, lady, and I can't think of her name right now. I'm sorry, please forgive me. But her name's on the record, and got a wonderful Louisiana-style piano player that Mike found, and he's on a bunch of songs. He's on a blues tune that's on the record also called Truth and Fame. And so we found good players. I love guitar players. So my guitar players are on a bunch of these. And of course, Tony Bigliori, he's just not even. And Vip Vipperman, by the way, is one of the great slide guitar players in the world. But Tony is just a wonderful piano player, so creative, and he's on a number of things as well.
When I think of what it means to be an American, I think of you and your music that has inspired, empowered, and educated our country. You are the rock and roll hero of legends like Drake and Tupac and others. Who are your rock and roll heroes?
Oh, well, Buddy Holly, first and foremost, Buddy Holly, and Elvis Presley, those two are very important to me. And I had a number of folk people that were heroes to me, and a number of singers that I studied very carefully in order to create vocal tone and resonance and vibrato and all these things that tone control when you see your breath and so on. So I combine a lot of things, and they all come from three different forms of music. One is the old-fashioned popular song, the Sinatra song, Cottage for Sale, this type of thing. The other is early rock and roll, and that would be Elvis and people I mentioned in that American Boys, but especially Buddy Holly. I'll get to him in 1 second. And then folk music, which always has beautiful melodies, but also a utilitarian function. These songs were work songs, they were protest songs, they were children's songs, they were lullabies, they were songs about all sorts of different things. They were funny songs. So that is a very important element of what I do. I want to tell stories about people like George Reed or people like Vincent, or in the case of American Pie, a lot of the people mentioned it. And in the case of this song, American Boys, all these people mentioned. This is a story. So that's what I keep it all together. I do not read music. I do not write music. I have little ideas in my head that are almost like films. And sometimes I just sit there and write down the proper story with the proper verse style that the film requires. And I'll never use that style again. I don't write in the Castles in the Air style, or in the Vincent style, or in the American Pie style. I write in all those styles and hundreds more. And that's what I like to do. That's what my particular gift is. And fortunately, I've been able to find a way to express myself, and I happen to come along when pretty white boys and guitars were the rage, in the late 19th. I was in amongst all these other guys, and I got my foot in the door, and I was able to make it in show business. It's a very tough business. If you're willing to accept very little, that's what you're going to get. And I was willing to do that. I just was willing to live almost anywhere as long as I could play my guitar and banjo and sing a nightclub somewhere or a little coffee house or something, and make a few dollars and pay my mother's rent on her apartment. That was great. I wasn't working for somebody, which is the thing I wanted to avoid. I wanted to be my own boss and do what I wanted to do.
Well, Don, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. Like I said, fans and critics, they're excited about May 17th. They're excited about your new album, American Boys. Before we let you go, any social media, any website, or anything you want our listeners to check out?
Well, all you have to do is Google my name, and you'll find so much stuff about me. It's unbelievable. You can Google my name on YouTube, and you'll come to my YouTube website. It's been up for a few years now. I did a lot of stuff during the pandemic. Got that movie made, a children's book made, a bunch of social media things up and running, and there's even a deal in the works for a Broadway show.
Ooh, nice.
At some point. Yeah, I guess it'd be called American Pie or The Day the Music Died. I don't want to call it that, but American Pie, probably I could see it on a marquee. And basically the same story, with all the songs.
Sounds great. Well, it has been a pleasure, and we wish you the best for the rest of your day.
Thanks a lot, man. I enjoyed talking.
That was Don Mclean. We were excited to have him as a guest on our show. We didn't want to have to turn him off, but shoot, time restrictions, as you know. But American Pie, everybody knows that song. Everybody loves that song. Amazing song. And he has released a new album, American Boys. It's going to be a great album. It's comes out my birthday, May 17th, so I'm especially excited about that. It's going to cover a wide variety of topics. It's going to have guitarist Vip Vipperman. It's going to have the Ballad of George Flyod on there. It's very inspiring, empowering, educational. And that's the great thing about Don McLean is he has done that for years. He has educated, he has entertained, he has empowered so many people and inspired so many other generations of musicians. And then with his new song, American Boys, he has a new band on there, Home Free. And I'm looking forward to hearing how great they sound. But yeah, and then this was a lot of it was recorded in the Sun Lab in Franklin, Tennessee. But like Don said, the ability to record pretty much anywhere nowadays with technology. Technology sure is a great thing at times, and it is doing some exciting things. So it has been a pleasure having Don McLean on our show today. Thank you and have a great day.